Okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming out to Studio on 4th tonight. We have a very, very special evening on tap. We're all really excited about the acts that are playing for you tonight. We have three really special acts. The first of which is on the stage. You're looking at him right now. His name is Mr. Justin Farren. Please give him a very warm Studio on 4th welcome.
Thanks. Special act. Oh, man. Special. Reno. I'm going to play this song. It's about going to play around in the snow. I didn't play around in the snow today. I thought about it. I'm from Sacramento, and I drove here today, and I stopped at a rest stop at Donner Pass, right? And I was like, there's enough snow there for me to do something. And then, I was like, I used the bathroom. I walked out of the bathroom, and right as I walked out, this big biker gang rolled up to right where I was. I don't understand why we have biker gangs, but they rolled up right there, up to where the rest stop was, and they were like, they were pissed. They were having like some dudes in the gang. It was like 25, and they were like having like a fight argument. And I was like, it seems weird if I just go play around in the snow by myself. Just like making snowballs and throwing them up there. And then on the way here, I was thinking about how it would be funny if they rode bicycles instead of motorcycles. They look so silly. But I wouldn't tell them that. They were scary. So this is a song about going to play around in the snow when you have the opportunity, if there's enough of it and you don't feel threatened by your surroundings. Well, last year I did not see the snow. I stayed down in the valley. I started up a couple times, but I never made the trip. It was the timing or the money, or the truck was sounding funny, or I heard the road was sketchy and I could not find my chains. And all year I felt weird, like a dude caught in a mousetrap, as if that snow trip set some precedent for the strength with which I'll move, like wishing that the roads could all be clear so I could always see what's coming. But if you always know what's coming, then you may as well stay at home. Yep. I dig deep for my excuses, and I believe them when I use them, and I reserve the right to stage a fight to keep good sense at bay. If not the hungry ride back home, it's the soggy-legged blue jeans, or school's out and I'd probably run my sled over a kid. But I could always bring a change of clothes and an awesome turkey sandwich and a thermos full of cider and some friends with whom to share, yeah. And kids can take a fall with such depth of understanding that if they're sure you didn't mean it, they will be laughing as they hit the ground, maybe. When I first got my license, I made myself a deal to spend at least one day a year sliding stupid down a hill. And since then I've made a lot of deals, and I've let some die away, and I have overlooked their passing, thinking only come what may. But this year I'm going to the snow, I'm taking that one back, in the name of how things ought to be and not how the cards were stacked. I'll make angels on the hillside and sing out to the rising moon, and build a snowman with a carrot wang the way I used to do it. Yeah. Yeah, the way I used to do it. It's cool that it has my name above my head. So, did you vote for Bernie? I'm not going to say anything else about it. Okay, I'm going to play you two. I've written 2 love songs in my life, and I'm going to play you both of them in succession right now. They represent the 2 sides of the love coin. The first side is when you first get together and you just hump all the time and you eat Mexican food. It's before she started training for triathlon. You guys used to, things were loose, and you'd go to bars and you'd arm wrestle in front of everybody. But then she started working out a whole bunch. She got super strong, and it got weird because the arm wrestling matches got closer and closer. You had to go deep within to a place to find the strength to beat her. You realize that your face must have been very ugly in the moment. So you stopped arm wrestling in public. This is about that. Do you remember that? That phase? No. Just me. My girl's got legs like tree trunks, all the better to pedal with, she says. I do the dishes every night, she does them over again in the morning. She tells me when to throw away my underwear, and that I'm going somewhere even after lame gigs when I could swear that no one even cared that I was up there, yeah. She says, I know it's hard to see, but it's not as hard as being who you know you need to be. Nope. And I know you must believe, because if you don't believe, where would that leave me? Where would that leave me? Hey! She said that she would never be my bride, and tax deductions aside, I'd make a pretty pointless husband. Yep. And I would never buy her a diamond ring, because all a diamond ring would mean is that I spent a few months hanging drywall and blew all the cash on some shiny thing. No, let's stay unemployed and go backpacking. I love her like ice cream or iced tea or iced anything these days. It's hot. For the way she doesn't let me get away with all the ways I try and say I'm not. And I believe the way you look determines what you find. So baby, won't you try to keep that in mind when you're looking at me? Because I know I'm hard to see when I'm caught up trying to be where I think I ought to be. Yeah. But I know you must believe, because if you don't believe, where would that leave me? Where would that leave me? Yeah. Where would that leave? Yeah. Where would that leave me? Thanks. Well, fast forward 10 years. You guys have a mortgage, a couple of special needs dogs. It's Thanksgiving today. You're in charge of the turkey. You're a little stressed out. Your mom took you in the corner to tell you that she had just gone to a party. There was a psychic there, and the psychic said all kinds of messed up shit about you. She started drinking pretty early. Sitting there at the table, the turkey turned out pretty good, so you're stoked on that. You decide you want to say something, but you're drunk enough that you're not quite sure what the words are that are coming out of your mouth, but you know that everybody seems happy about it. They're smiling at you, so you just keep talking, because that's what you do. You realize at some point that you probably should figure out what you've been talking about. So you look at the familiar face across the table from you, your girlfriend of 12 years, and realize from her tearful expression that you've just proposed to her in front of your family. So then you wrote this song. See, because you spend your 20s saying all kinds of negative stuff about marriage. Right? Isn't that what you guys did? That's what I did. So when you find yourself in a situation where you're getting married because suddenly it feels correct, you're like forced to reconcile with all that negative stuff you said, just in your own head. So this is that. I don't know why suddenly the whole thing shifted, and now it all makes sense to say this all out loud with no fear of consequence. Maybe I'm a little older and the thoughtless years have caught up with me. Maybe I'm just tired of acting like there's something up my sleeve. But if we're gonna do this, I intend to do it right. I will not promise to know the answers, but I will change your oil for life. And when the road is long and we're lost out there at night, you can rest your eyes and know I'll keep her between the lines. Yeah. Well, I once felt wise to walk beside a sad belief that forever is a measure that we cannot feel or see. And now I know it wasn't true, that there was always one, and it was always you who could turn a light on the dark in front of me. Now look. My mom's psychic says I'm an asshole. And listen, I never was the handsome son, but one of the things I love about you is you can see how far I've come. There's a lot of bargaining in the making of a man before he starts to do the best that he can. Well, I'm no good with money. I lose track of time, and I have no sense of direction. But for when you're there by my side, and I'm done pretending that I care where each motive lies, let's jump head first into the rest of this life. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, let's see. I could play something stupid. Do you want me to play something stupid? Not very excited. Yeah. I'll do something stupid. Ooh, I'll do. I never play this. This is a short one that I wrote about a brief stint as the mascot for Papa John's Pizza. Do you guys have Papa John's Pizza here? You do? You ever think about your first jobs? You ever think about how you worked super hard? You know, I think I got like $4.25 an hour, maybe $4.50. And I was in this pizza slice outfit, and like there were shifts, you know. So there was a guy before me who like ate a bunch of pizza and then got into the pizza outfit. It's like 105 degrees outside. And then after he was done doing whatever he was doing in there, you just take it off his body, put it straight on yours, and then go stand out there for a long time. And then after taxes, well, you walk home with like, what, $11? What the hell is that? That's so stupid. God, I was so excited to get that job, though. This is about that. I used to work a job at Papa John's, dressed up like a pizza slice out on the lawn, and I would wave to the passers-by who would sometimes flip me off, yeah. And every morning I'd wake up late, even though my classes all started at 8, and I'd make bad excuses and wonder where my life was going, yeah. And not a whole lot has changed. I mean, I still make a laughable wage, and I still wear my pants too low, and my mom still buys a fair amount of my clothing in the form of Christmas and birthday gifts. But things got better, and I'll tell you how. I learned that life is not tomorrow. No, it's happening now. I try to make good decisions, and I hope they work out, and that's all. Hey, thanks. Okay. That's probably okay. Sure. What you do, you have to hide in a trash can. It's really the only way because they look everywhere else. But you don't have to be in there for very long. An hour. You just listen for their keys as they walk by. And then you hear them lock the gate and you hear them start their car and drive away. And then you could pop up out of the trash can. Midnight at the fair. Carney's playing freeze tag in their underwear. Somebody puked in the bathroom. And the janitor's got the hose. And he's cursing out loud, whoever thought to deep fry a ho-ho. Yeah. The elephants are always early to sleep, but the goats stay up late and talk about the sheep, and the full moon shimmers on a man-made river and casts a lifeless light down on the tilted world. And the cowboys hang their hats, and the Chinese acrobats sharpen their swords and then fall asleep in a little ball. And they all wonder where they might be going come the fall. Yeah. Over by the midway, it seems, someone left on the light of the margarita machine. Nope, it's just the log ride attendant. And the 4-H queen, they're making love in the ticket booth. She's screaming, "Baby, you can ride for free." Yeah. And some kids snuck in the back gate, and they're throwing rocks at the chickens and softballs at the plates, and the cows wake up. Look around as if to say, hey, we are never as forever as we are for today. And when the morning comes, yeah, they'll file in one by one with fanny packs, water bottles, and blooming onions in their hands. And all around our little world, we'll be dancing for the boys and girls, just humming like an oiled machine. Because they came to see a show. And a show is what they'll see. La da da da, yeah. La da da da, la da da da. Thanks. What are you guys doing, Reno? It's all acoustic shows? just we live for the singer-songwriter. Seems unlikely. Whenever I come here, I feel obliged to go into one of the big casinos and put like a $20 bill in. Do you guys do that all the time? Probably shouldn't live in Reno. I feel like I'd drop a bunch of cash. My grandparents were way into it. They'd be like, we're going to Reno. That was before all the, because now there's, you know all about it. There's like between Sacramento and here, there was like no way to get your gambling rocks off until, all the like Indian casinos opened up. And then, is this a sore subject? And we played poker. My family was like a gambling family. So I grew up, we played poker. I was like 5. And I'd put all my money out there. It was like real, They weren't joking. But I always won. I had so much luck when I was a little kid. And I'd put all this money. I had a Cool Whip container. And I'd win and win and win and just fill it with money. And then someone in my family would be like, we're going to Reno. And I'd be like, take all my money with you and gamble it for me as a minor. And they'd be like, okay. And they did it. What the hell kind of lesson is that? Teach a kid. God. I can't believe they did that. I play a song about my dog. Pickle Breath. He's a super sweet guy. Yeah. You joke. It was kind of scary. There was no one else. There was no one else at the rest stop. I was super glad I had like a shaved head and a beard because I felt like it was kind of cool, It was like, it's cool, right? My neighbors grow rabbits for food. Pickle Breath is super down with rabbits for food. So every once in a while, he saunters into the house just like 5 pounds heavier than he was before. So I wrote this for him. Well, I saw you out the window with a bunny in your mouth, shaking him around till his guts fell out. It's true, though. And at first I was bummed, but you look so proud. with your tail held high, your tongue hanging out. Now people say you're crazy and I ought to put you down. That you're a danger to society I shouldn't allow. And of course I hear what they're saying, but to tell you the truth, well, sometimes I like to kill things too. Yeah. See, I killed a bunch of tomatoes because I thought they'd look fine. Mutilated to perfection on a pizza pie. Without a hint of hesitation, ripped them off of the vine. Yep, sometimes dinner means taking some lives. That's right, yeah. I watched my grandma cut some roses that she'd grown from seed so that she could look on them whenever she might please. Upon the kitchen table in a watery tomb. Well, sometimes grandma like to kill things too. Hey. I must have killed 1,000 cows just to eat on their butts. That's the low point of the song. While wealthier folks take the softer cuts, we peel back the skin and make comfy shoes. Yep, cows aren't the only ones who treat like this. I'll bet you sometimes cows wonder why they exist. No, I was right. That's way lower. That's a lower part. Once I tried to kill a spider with a magnifying glass, but it was taking too long, so I just stepped on him. I've committed murder just to pass some time. So next time you got a critter in your killer crosshairs, and you're wondering how you'll answer to the man upstairs, know that if you're going to hell, I'll be there with you. Well, 'cause sometimes I like to kill things too. Yeah, sometimes I like to kill things too. Thank you very much. That's for Pickle Breath. He's my big man. I love him. We had my wife and I had a baby a couple months ago, and oh well, thank you. I feel weird saying it because then people say congrats, and I'm like, well, it's cool, but I didn't really do shit, you know? I mean, it's great. It's great. It's great. She's super fun. It's the coolest. Got a bunch of horror stories before the baby came about how life will change forever. Let me tell you this. If you have multiple kids, don't listen to me right now. If you're on the fence about having a kid, just go ahead. It's no big deal. And like if, years pass and like slowly it sinks in that it actually is very difficult and the baby hates you. She's 22 years old now and she thinks that you never let her do anything that she wanted to do because you're super controlling. I don't know why you're like that. And like you're just like, it just doesn't come together. I'm sorry. That's on you though. When we had the kid, my wife told me that I could write one song about the kid. It's a girl. Amelia is her name. I could write one song about the baby because my wife is my toughest critic, and she doesn't want to be married to a guy who can only write songs about his daughter. I don't know if you're aware of that phenomenon with songwriters where all of a sudden you find your new muse, and it's your baby. And so you just write countless songs about this person who really doesn't care at all about your music. This is not about my daughter. This is about other people's kids. I'm saving up my one song. A bunch of people made me a godfather all in the same year. Got me thinking about how you could say things to your god kids that you wouldn't say to your regular kids. It was a meandering introduction to this song. Sorry about that. Welcome to our vast, distracted planet. They bought stacks of shit they know you don't need. And they don't mind you showing up here empty-handed. But soon enough, there'll be some things they'd like to see. Sure, for a while, they're gonna tell you that you're perfect. But over time, you'll get to show them that ain't true. And for every weight they'll hand you in the name of love, just know they're happy to be headed home with you. Headed home with you, yeah. Headed home. If you can see things from the angle of their maker, then you've got to jump on where to look to find your light. And when they all wonder why you're after what you're after, no, I for one would say you're doing something right. 'Cause no mother prays to raise a wandering minstrel, and no father hopes his son can turn a rhyme, unless they're looking through the lens of who he's always been, even before he was a twinkle in their eye. A twinkle in their eye. A twinkle in their eye. You'll learn to sell your time for money and good standing amongst some folks who think their money's worth your time. And you'll rise to meet their needs no matter how demanding, and start to think those needs are how you are defined. But I find that happiness comes not to those who seek it so much as those who've learned to stay out of its way. And they might bend your ear with proof, but nothing's louder than your truth. Just sing it out, and it'll always be that way. It'll always be. It'll always be. There's a race to find the point before it's over. And there's a prayer that raised these walls and fills the room. And it can lift you up to boast its broad horizon, then baptize you in its ocean, cold and true. And you can pay for some illusion of safe harbor. And you could stow away on someone else's dreams. But it's best to chart your course and buy a load of lumber. Build a boat you know is worthy of the sea. It's worthy of the sea. You are worthy of the sea. Thanks, guys. I'm just going to play one more. Maybe. Yeah, one more. I'll play one more. Deal. Ooh, that's some heavy shit. Even worse. I never play Watch the Fire Burn Out. I will do that because I'm in Reno. It's appropriate because I was telling you about the we're going to Reno grandfather. This is about him. Toward the end of his life, he spent a couple weeks in a I don't know what you call it, like assisted living, but like hospice care facility. And I would pick my grandma up, and we would go there and spend the day, and play cards or whatever, and just hang out. And this is the song that came from that experience. Sorry to get super heavy, but I promise that I'll close this out with just a fun, joyful, a romp. I'm just tired, he says. It's no tragedy. It ain't like the movies, even the good ones fall. But this life is longer than they'd have you believe. I should know I've just about seen it all. But it gets pretty quiet here in the middle of the night. And I like it better when you guys are around. She gets smaller every morning in the passenger seat. We try and talk about the weather, but it doesn't last for long. She says it helps to know that she was always good to him. But when it comes right down, she just wishes that he wouldn't go. When all the walls we've made believe come tumbling down, and all the words we'd never say, we say them now. It's funny being out here beyond the shadow of doubt. There's nothing left to do but watch the fire burn out. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me play that. Okay, hard shift. Yeah. This is my last song. Once again, my name is Justin Farren. I'm glad it was still up there. I was like, maybe it was just a temporary. I got some CDs for sale. If you want to purchase them, I'll be over there by the piano. I'm headed home to Sacramento tonight, and so I'm not going to be here at the end of the night. So if you want to buy a CD, come over after my set and get hella CDs. Just like, I don't even care how many you buy. That's how I feel about it. This is a song I wrote about a sweater that I lost in 2004. Did you have Mervyn's? No, that's a California thing. Well, yeah, everybody used to. I had this sweater that fit me just right. I grew up a chunky kid, and I got really particular about the way clothes fit me growing up. It was because my brother was like a beanpole, and you just throw a garment at him, and it was like, well, I'll be damned if it doesn't fit perfectly. And like I was like, I had to get like the husky clothes. It had H. You know what I'm talking about? H. But anyways, I got real particular about the way clothes fit. Kind of gotten over it. But I lost this sweater that fit me just right. You know? Where did I leave my sweater? Where did I leave my sweater? Where, oh shit, I think I must have left it in Santa Cruz. At that show I played at the University College 10 Dining Commons multi-purpose room. Yes, I remember it all clearly now. I was packing up my things when a young female student said I sounded exactly like Jason Mraz. It's a true story. And it was then that I set down my sweater to appear natural and unoffended, as our conversation shifted to autographs and was then abruptly ended when I signed her new CD, Jason Mraz. So tomorrow I'll go to Mervin's, tomorrow I'll go to Mervin's, tomorrow I'll wake up early, I hope my sweater's still on sale. And I could see them all like vultures at the Cherokee brand clearance rack. And by the time I get through, all they'll have left is XXL. And if my sweater's not on sale, then I will wait there until it is. And I will shiver while I wait because it's cold outside Mervin's. And while I'm shivering, while I'm waiting for my sweater to go on sale, I'll imagine that girl from Santa Cruz being swallowed by a whale and blaming her new life in a whale's belly on Jason Mraz. I played in San Diego about a week ago, and I played this song not thinking about how Jason Mraz lives in San Diego, and so San Diegans take Jason Mraz really seriously, and nobody even chuckled at this shit. So I was standing in line at Mervin's, and the guy in front of me was obviously wearing a toupee, and I started thinking to myself, what if all our lives are really long, one-act plays in which we actors try desperately to be somebody else, like, hey, look at me, I've got a fancy house, somebody killed a cow and made my couch, I've got synthetic hair, it's Velcro to my head. Yeah. And if that's the case, then I'm concerned that I'm too young to know the truth, and I'll have to spend the next 65 years trying to recapture my youth. You know, there aren't very many words that rhyme with Mraz. Da-da-da-da. So when I go bald, I'm shaving it off. When I go bald, I'm shaving it off. When I go bald, I'll never ever wear a rug. I'll let the neighbor kids draw dragonflies and beautiful Bengal tigers on my head when I go bald enough. And if my wife's embarrassed by the tigers and she won't be seen in public with me, then I'll divorce her. And the divorce will be quick and painless. As far as divorces go, I've been told they tend to be fairly difficult. Yeah. Because she can keep the house, she can keep the couch, and whatever I left behind it. She can even have my sweater if she ever happens to find it. I am moving out to the woods where I belong. Yes, I am moving out to the woods where I belong. Yes, I am moving out to the woods where I belong. Yes, I am moving out to the woods where I belong. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks to Justin, Karen Ann. Stick around. Awesome night of music. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Justin Farren.
I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Okay.
We'll be right back with Karen Ann.